Alright, Shalom. This is your brother Bayan. I want to start by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the brothers pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the brothers and the sisters listening and learning, the hopeful elect. Alright. Now in this one, I'm going to call this one Prophecy in Motion. The Lord is moving things along in 2024. This is the year of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and it's rightly coined. It's rightly phrased that. All right, because there's a lot of things that's going on. Ezekiel 38. All right, the prophecy in Ezekiel 38, we're reaching the rising action of it, where these nations are gearing up for war. A lot of them are ready for war. It just takes one. What was it? The straw that broke the camel's back. It just takes the straw, right? One straw to break the camel's back. So one incident, right? The scripture says, let's see. I'll get it real quick before I hop into Ezekiel. Ezekiel, let's see. Look at the tab. Scripture says, basically, I gotta paraphrase it. The least of them will draw them out, right? Right, and it's concerning the. Oh yeah. No. I think it's no. And it's concerning the small hats, man. The 1948ers, the ones that took the land, right? We know which land. In 1948. Through the Balfour Declaration, and they imposters. They claim to be the rightful people of the Lord, which they are not. Let's see. Least the flock. I just seen it. All right, Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he that have taken against Edom," right? So we know this is talking about the Lord going up against Edom, right? And his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. So Teman would be the wise men of Edom. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So the least of the flock would be Amalekites, right? In 1948ers, they're the least of the flock when it comes to Esau, Edom, and they're going to draw these nations to war. Not just Esau, well, a lot of Edomite nations are going to war for sure, but other nations like Elam, which is Iran, Sheba. I believe Sheba are Hamites, right? And you got Cush. A lot of nations of people are going to war through these 1948ers. So let's get to the video real quick. I don't want to make this too long. Right, there was an assassination attempt on the Prime Minister of Slovakia. And before I get to that, I'm going to pull this up real quick. The Iron Curtain images. Let's see. Let's see. Slovakia. Czechoslovakia right here. All right, here we go.
Last week, here on the show, we were praising Slovakia for standing up against the tyranny of the WHO and the pandemic treaty. Well, if you're a pro-peace leader who stands up against the tyranny of the WEF or the WHO, you will be shot, you will be assassinated, or an attempted assassination on your life. That's exactly what just happened today to Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia. There he is, on better days. Slovakia's Prime Minister, who's just been compared to Donald Trump, by the way. Anytime these guys get compared to Donald Trump, something bad seems to happen to them. They end up getting in trouble. Imran Khan, you name it, they end up getting shot, they get imprisoned. So maybe they want to hold off on calling people like he's like a Donald Trump. Viktor Orban, of course, they've been gunning for him as tough as they can. He is in critical condition right now, is the Prime Minister of Slovakia, after being shot multiple times. And listening to the footage, watching the footage, we're not going to show it here tonight because what will happen is YouTube will block us if we show it. You can seek it out on X if you want to see it. And you can clearly see the 71-year-old assailant firing multiple shots. Then his security guards finally carry him off the ground and carry the Prime Minister into the car and speed off to the hospital. That's what happened. According to the BBC, witnesses heard 3 or 4 shots. Again, I counted 4 shots. And he falls to the ground with chest wounds and a shot to the head as well. We'll have more details about that. It might have just been a grazing shot, but we definitely...
Now, you heard what he was saying. He was saying that he was speaking against the WEF and WHO, World Health Organization. All right, so one of the things that this Prime Minister of Slovakia, he was doing, he was bringing truth to, what's it called, Crown Royal. All of us know what the juice is. All of us know what Crown Royal is. He was bringing truth to that, and calling out the WEF and WHO for what they're doing in the world right now. All right, which is the control, this digital currency that's coming up. All right, and controlling the people through fear. Right, he's also pro-Russian. He's pro-Russia, so he's siding with Putin in Russia. Right, and this is big when it comes to prophecy because it only takes this thing right here for World War III to kick off. Now, I don't believe World War III is going to kick off via this incident, but we're getting close, and this may be the year, right? Coined the year of Jacob's trouble. Well, we might see it. So let's check it out. Ezekiel 38, right? And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them, right? So the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal would be Russia. Russia in today's day. The land of Gog and Magog is occupied by Russia in this time. Now, we can go into the biblical maps and check it out real quick. I don't want to take too long. Let's see. Biblical Slovakia map. Alright, let's check it. Alright, this is a good map. So this is the Meshech and Tubal right here. Alright, where is Magog right here? So this is Russia. Meshech and Tubal. I pulled up that Iron Curtain. And I want to say Meshech and Tubal. Is it Turkey? I believe it's Turkey. It's Turkey. Let me see. I believe it's Turkey, right? But the chief prince, you go into that word chief prince, you break it down in the Hebrew. Let's go back to Ezekiel 38 real quick. Right, it's got some footnotes here. Well, in the in the what's it called, the mobile app, it has the footnotes. But basically, you break chief prince down, it's Rosh, and then prince means Shar, so it's telling you the chief prince is Rashar, all right, Russia. It says prophesy against him. Now, to further back that up, it says, I'll continue reading verse 2 again. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. So the person that occupies Gog in the land of Magog is Russia. So the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Here it is again. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. You go into it real quick. See, I'm making it longer than necessary. It's all good. All through the Spirit of the Lord. Alright. What is it? Put hooks. Slocky. Turn thee back. Yeah, I think I'm looking for this. Alright. When the Lord says, I will turn thee back, right? He's saying that he's going to return them to their former, if you want to say glory, or their former days, right? So it says to turn back, to return, come, go back, to return onto, right? Then it says to restore, refresh, repair. All right. Then it says to bring back, refresh, restore. So that's what's happening. And you look at this Iron Curtain, right? This was during the Cold War. Cold War of NATO versus, what was it? I forgot what it was called. So NATO allies, America and their allies, and then it was Russia and their allies. So, but during the Cold War, this was the Iron Curtain right here, which was part of the Soviet Union in the USSR. I believe the Soviet Union was first, then the USSR was second, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. And brothers and sisters, y'all look it up. Look it up. I'm giving you this information, but you can look it up as well. Alright. The Soviet Union, right? You got Poland, East Germany, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia. That's a big one. So we're seeing an assassination attempt of Slovakia's prime minister. And via this map, right, the Lord is turning, via the prophecy, the Lord is turning Russia back into the power, or back into the giving Russia the territory, or restoring its might that it once had within the world. All right, so that it can come against the 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, Russia would be a part of the beast. All right, they're gonna most likely implement their own digital currency. but they're not the 7 heads and 10 horns. They're actually going against the New World Order. Let's see. Alright, so this assassination attempt will...
Definitely within the chest and the stomach area. But what's interesting now is that we are learning that the security detail has... So there is the assailant. That is the 71-year-old assailant there. And he was shaking hands with people after he came out of a speech that he was giving. And the attacker then was swarmed by security guards, as you can see, and bystanders try to hold him.
All right, you don't need to worry about that. But so basically, what makes this relevant is if this guy was who the assailant, right, that he's speaking of, if this guy was sent by any of the NATO powers to assassinate this prime minister. Now, you see he was speaking against the WEF, World Economic Forum, and the WHO. That would be a reason to assassinate him. And then him being pro-Russian, pro-Russia, it's leading back to Russia, right? Russia being the bear that's going to guard these smaller nations and protect them from NATO, right, in America, right? It's leading back to Russia being a world power as they once were when they were the Soviet Union. Yeah, when they were the Soviet Union, and during the Cold War. So the Cold War was a time of it was a war. But it was bloodless, so to speak. All right, there was probably some, how do I say it? There's probably some things in the darkness. People were getting killed in the darkness, but when it comes to war, there was no major war that happened. It was an intelligence war. It was an arms race. It was a nuclear race. So that's what the Cold War was about. But there was looming, and we all know, we all heard about it in school. There was a dreadful looming thought that the world was going to go into nuclear war. It was they called it the Red Scare. So this Russia, Skog, Chief Prince of Meshach and Tubal, is going to become that Red Scare again. Let's see. Let's continue on. Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel 38:4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. I will bring thee forth in all thine army, hounces and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Now it goes on, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. So these are the nations that's gonna side with Russia. They're gonna take Russia's side when it comes to this World War III. That's about to go off, and that's what it's getting to. A lot of people are, the U.S. is putting this under wraps. This is under wraps for the most part. In the U.S., they don't think they're not pushing it as a big deal, but the rest of the world is. It's a huge deal for this to happen. But this isn't all that's happening for prophecy to be in motion. Salaki, I'm all over the place. Let's see what else we got. assassination attempt, right? And then you also have banks closing across America. Let's get that. All right. It says over the past 12 months, Wells Fargo has closed 258 branches. J.P. Morgan Chase 165, Bank of America nearly 100, according to SP Global Market Intelligence. In all, the number of bank branches the U.S. has shrunk by more than 150 to just 78,000 today, from nearly 100,000 in 2009. So now it's 78,000. In 2009, it was 100,000, and that was 2009 was the year after the economic collapse, right? Via the home loans. So this is worse than in 2009. What's going on now is worse than 2009. All these banks, these smaller banks, right? And the elder Ariala, he went into that in one of his algorithms. You know, the elder Ariala of the Dallas camp, he went into that, and he showed a video in which it predicts that, you know, the loans being given out by the Federal Reserve, they're going to have higher interest, and these smaller banks are not going to be able to keep up. They're going to end up closing, merging with these bigger banks, and then eventually these bigger banks are going to not be able to sustain themselves. Then who do we have left? Well, you got private banks, and then you got the Federal Reserve. And when this happens, when these bigger banks collapse, like they're going to, there's going to be a mandate for a new currency. It's not going to be a bailout. They're going to change the currency as we know it. They're going to go into a cashless society. And let's prove that. I mean, let's back it up a little bit, all right? Let's see. I'll open another one. Got this channel called Redacted. It says Ukrainian liberal tries to assassinate Slovakia's anti-war prime minister, right? And he was speaking against the Ukrainian war as well. Let's see. I'll just go to the channel.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive income investment,
declining populations, he's all for that. Will allow them to have
tax and accounting professionals. Are you tired of being underpaid and working long tax seasons and not being
Well, the banks are on the verge of collapse, hundreds of them, as Americans are scrambling to get their money out of these banks. That's
Look at that U.S. national debt, 565. I mean, Slovakia, I said 34 trillion, 565 billion, 139 million. It's crazy. That's a crazy number right there.
It's not me saying this. This is CNBC News, front page news, now finally reporting what we've been warning about for years on this show. The house of cards is coming down. So we'll get to that part of it in a second with these banks collapsing. But first, cash.
You know what's so funny? So I used to work for CNBC, and I would show up for these segments, panel segments, right? And I would say, well, I'm really worried about the US dollar because of this. And I would share some books, and they'd be like, oh, okay. Like the fellow panelists, they just were supremely unconcerned about some of, like...
And it will not allow customers to deposit or withdraw cash or checks from its office branches starting this month. Reserve Bank data in April shows Australians then ran to the ATMs, according to Malcolm Roberts, and they made 30 million ATM cash withdrawals, amounting to 9.5 billion in February, up from 3.6 from February 2023. And that number is skyrocketing. So Australians are trying to get their money out, whatever cash they can from these banks. But guess what? They're going to be going to these ATMs, finding out that there's not a lot in there, and there's not going to be cash available for them. Australians are now protesting this. Here's a group of protesters who's saying, we need cash. Please do not take away our cash. Listen.
Cashless society. That sort of just means that
Yeah, you take out your money in the bank, you cash it out. All right. The banks are. It's not just the banks, right? It's the Federal Reserve, the ones that's loaning out this money. They're printing off money, devaluing the currency. They're gonna change the currency, and it's gonna be digital, right? It's gonna be the RFID chip, the MOTB, and cashing out, taking money out the bank. That's not the solution. That's not the solution. Believing in the Lord, all right? Believing in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai in sincerity and truth, that's the solution. All right? Because the Lord is a strong tower to those that believe in him, man. I'm, roughly paraphrasing. The Lord is a strong tower. He's going to be there for his elect. He's going to redeem his elect out of Jacob's trouble. And this is what we're hoping for. So if you're a believer of the Lord, then you're hoping for this to happen. You're betting on this happening. You're betting the whole house on this currency. They're mandating a digital currency and it being the RFID chip, which is the MOTB. All right, America going into World War III against Russia and some other nations. The big battle of the Valley of Jehoshaphat, where Yahweh Shai is going to return. We're betting the whole house. We're betting our mama's house on this thing. If you truly believe.
they can track us, they can make new rules, and if we don't apply by those rules, well then they can cut our bank accounts. So
what's that sound like? Revelation 13 and 16? We talk about it all the time. It's in our faces. Alright, it's in these Edomite peons. It's in their faces. Alright? So I talk to, so-called Edomites, right? So-called white folks at my job. And they're a lot more informed than, regular Jake. Regular Jake don't know shit. Regular Jake is regular Jake is on some other shit. He'll talk to you about Diddy. He'll talk to you about what's going on in the entertainment world, because it's bread and circus. He'll talk to you about the latest food trend, but he's not talking about what really matters in the world. what's really going on, because he's distracted, right? Let's bring up another distraction, right? President Biden. All right, this is just, for the sake of distractions, for when it comes to our people, and our people are being, how do I say it? They're seeking out our people, right? They're seeking to destroy our people via this information warfare.
This is monumental. Today, my administration took a major step to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3 drug. It's an important move toward reversing long-standing inequities. Today's announcement builds on the work we've already done to pardon a record number of federal offenses for simple possession of marijuana. And it adds to the action we've taken to lift barriers to housing, employment, small business loans, and so much more.
What did he say? He said marijuana, housing, employment, small business loans. Who do you think that's targeting? It's targeting Jake. You got everybody's sister got their own business. All right, where they do hair, right? They give facials and nails, all that stuff. You got small business loan, got the PPP people. Employment. Well, Jake is last hired, first fired. Talking about employment, when really, if there's anybody to be employed, it's these immigrants that's coming in, and it's not Northern Kingdom immigrants. That's the main party that's coming in. All right, there's information out there showing that the main illegal immigrant that's coming into America right now is your Chinese illegal immigrants. Your Chinese illegal immigrants. They're coming fresh. They take a boat. They take a boat to South America. They trek up Central America. No. They take a boat to Central America, and they take that trek from the bottom of Central America to America, right? Mexican border. And they cross the Mexican border. I believe it's via San Diego, the California-Mexican border. So he's not talking about employing our people. If anything, he's going to employ these Asians, these Moabites. Now, what else? He's a small business, employment. He says marijuana. So he can get our vote. This is all to get the vote. Now, those promises weren't made until this year. And he's made many more promises trying to appeal to his voter base. This is another distraction for our people. Instead of worrying about what's really going on, they're going to talk about, President Biden, he's about to, legalize marijuana throughout the whole nation.
For tens of thousands of Americans. Look, folks, no one should be in jail merely for using or possessing marijuana. Period. Far too many lives have been.
It's ironic because this guy, he voted for the bill, right? He actually had a speech that inspired a lot of people to vote for the bill for mass incarceration. That led to mass incarceration of Jake, dealing with marijuana. He categorized people who were drug addicts, people who were found with weed, selling weed. He categorized them as basically beasts. He said, well, we don't want them getting to our mothers, our wives, our children. So Israel, right? We're living in the curses. or a byword and a proverb and a byword, right? But it's ironic that he was the one. Now he's trying to take it all back. Man, hey, the scriptures coming to life, man. They shall seek to please the poor. Let's see. What else we got? I'm holding this. It says, alright. In the fullness of his sufficiency, this is Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And that's what's happening. The hand of the wicked, which are the peons of Esau Edom, they're against what's going on because they see that they themselves are left out. Australia was originally a prison for these Edomites of the UK. Like, these Edomites was too wild to live in the UK, so they sent them to Australia, and they took over Australia. You know, so these are Edomite peons right here, and this is why Australia is very, the way they live in Australia is borderline, how would I say, martial law. They're very strict with the Australian people. Why? It's because they're the peons. They're the unneeded, the discarded. So a lot of their the New World Order, they're testing. They test a lot of stuff in Australia. Australia, I believe they got hit bad with COVID. Here we go. I said it. They got hit bad with Crown Royal. All right, the lockdowns were horrible. The lockdowns were horrible in Australia. And now you better believe that the digital currency is coming. This RFID chip. You better believe it's coming to Australia. Let's see. So the banks are closing, and when the banks close, you're only gonna have one bank to go in this, and they're gonna change the currency. They're gonna call it well. Let's watch this video because I think they said something about not calling it the central CBDC, how we call it. Let's see. Oh yes, in this video.
If we don't have cash, we need to keep our freedoms. We need to keep our cash.
And the WEF is moving full steam ahead right now with its plans to remove cash, because you can't control people if I'm able to pay for things that you don't know about, right? If I want to pay the gardener, if I want to, not that I do illicit drugs, but, you know, whatever I want to do. If I can use cash to do it, you can't control me, right? I want to pay someone for a used car, right? I want to pay.
Like she said, and like he's saying right now, they want to track everything. They want to see where your money goes. Right now, China implements this social, it's like a social, I forgot what it's called, man. It's like a social citizen thing where they track you, and they give you a social citizen, social score, and if your score is too low, then you get imprisoned, or perks in society gets taken away. I believe I watched a documentary on it. There's one guy, he had a low social score because I think he spoke against what was going on in China. And now he can't function in society. It's almost unlivable for him. So that's what's going to come. It's going to come to Australia. It's going to come to America, Babylon the Great. All right. In the UK, there's a lot of things that's going on right now. A lot of businesses are not dealing with cash. They're refusing cash. Right? Sweden. That's a nation is pretty much cashless. They don't really deal with cash either. So the only thing left is to rewrite the law, and they're gonna use what's it called? A flag event. They're gonna use a flag event to do that. One of them was Crown Royal. They changed a lot of laws during that time period, to which the World Health Organization has martial law powers. They can implement martial law and lock this whole country down. They did that during Crown Royal. So you got a lot of things going on. It's leading up to Armageddon. It's beautiful. Let's see what we got. Got more Ezekiel. I'm out. That's pretty much it on Ezekiel. I'm gonna get Revelation 13 real quick. Revelation 13. All right, Neuralink. Neuralink has been exposed, and we've always known Neuralink to be the MOTB, but now even your Edomite peons, your regular people in the world, they're realizing it too. It's being revealed. So this information, this word is going out throughout the earth. Let's see. Trying to find a starting point. Let's see. I started 60. It says Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And we know that to be the 666. Right? And the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And that's what these people are talking about in these videos. Why is the World Economic Forum involved? It's because, the elites, right? Those are the elites that's getting together and making an economic policy, right? For the world. They're part of the New World Order. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he should be in straits, right? So when this man tries to kick off the New World Order, all right, even his own people is going to come against him. It's going to be a lot of sedition. It's going to be a lot of uprisings, right? The UN troops are going to have to be here to calm everything down, because there's going to be most likely going to be civil war. There's going to be all types of things going on, and the elect is going to be saved out of all of it. Let's see what we got. What else we got? Let's get Proverbs 21. It's 2. It's locked in Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, the people are mourning. Now, the people in the know, they're in mourning, right? Even so-called white men that I work with, they know what's going on, and they're against what's going on. They don't have the full scope of what's going on, but they're wiser. They're wiser than the children of light, right? The children of men are wiser than the children of light. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, they have a lot of knowledge. You know, we even talked about the MOTB. They know what the MOTB is, but you talk to Jake, you talk to some of these other camps that's in the truth. They can't tell you. They'll say it's sin. They'll say it's sleeping with a white woman. They say all these things, but they're not telling you. They're not speaking the truth. But you got some of these Edomites that know it. So it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the Lord returns and establishes righteousness on the earth, the people will rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And right now, the people that's in the knowledge, they know about what's going on. They're mourning. And the people that are in the house of mirth, man, those are the fools. They're going to be destroyed. Let's see. What else we got? That's pretty much it. You got a lot of things going on in Ezekiel 38, Jeremiah 49, right? A lot of things going on. Prophecies in motion. So, brothers and sisters, just be on the lookout, and whatever I said, y'all look it up as well. Y'all look it up as well. So with that being said, I want to give a hearty shalom, and all praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. All right, let's close it out. Shalom.